Hey everybody, I thought it was the last fuel economy video, but we're doing a DPF burn, but I just want to show you this while we quickly stop for a toilet stop. So this is the Sydney to Melbourne run. There's no wind today, still the same vehicle, same load. We just crossed the border into Victoria, 2 hours and 30 minutes, average speed 110. You can see that it'll be dropping, cruise control set on. So it's all the same speed, about the speed limit. But you can see 10.8 litres per 100k. So there you go, anything from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Doesn't take much of a headwind and conditions change for this thing to go up quite a lot higher. I find it interesting, if you look in the fuel economy playlist, yep, 4B4 Diesel playlist on fuel economy, you'll probably find one there where we did a trip from Canberra back on road tyres, nothing on the roof. I think it was either 8.5 or 9.5 litres per 100k, so a good comparison to know that the only real difference is all-terrain tyres and a couple of really tightly rolled 2 swags on the roof. Anyway, another really short one, just thought to show you what's possible. Might add a little bit more to this one yet, let's see. All right, let's wrap this one up. Here we go. We've finalised the trip around Australia. Okay, so from Melbourne, west across the Nullarbor, up the west coast, across the top over to the east, and then down the west coast, the long and short of it. The last refill in Sydney, 850k since then. A little bit of running around on the way back. This isn't the obviously the final trip, but let's have a look at the trip stats for those that are interested. Since the reset, which is before when we left the trip, I believe, if I remember correctly, so 12.2 for the trip. It's not the best, to be honest, because we can drive around and get 8.5, 9 at 110 on the highways around here. So what went on there for the whole 15,000 k's, I don't know. 189, let's say 190 hours driving, average speed 78 k's an hour, which is a lot faster than the average speed on most vehicles. If you have a look at your average, you're going to probably see something around. Put it in the comments, let us know what's your average speed on your, see the after reset here. If you've got one of these screens that says after reset and it's been a long time, like this clock's over 100 hours, so that's 189 hours 48. So if you've got a couple hundred hours, let us know what your average is. And this is another good reason we could probably go into something else in this video, and that is in relation to oil changes. Even though we do the oil changes anyway, you could not do an oil change for 20,000 kilometers, and this is why. Because if your average speed or your typical speed is around 30, 40 k's an hour, which is half of 78, then your engine's going to do twice as many hours. So if it's okay to do the oil every 10,000 kilometers with an average speed of 30 k's an hour, because they're only counting kilometers, not engine hours, then if you're doing 80 k's an hour or 100 k's an hour, certainly you've done half as many engine hours, or maybe even a third. So something to think about, so you don't have to worry too much about oil changes when you're on long trips and highway trips at highway speed. Something to think about. Okay, so what else we got here? So after the refuel, so Sydney to Melbourne, 10.7 litres per 100 k's. When we did Brisbane to Sydney, if I remember correctly, it said something around there, 10.6, 10.7. It's probably in another video. And the actual when we filled up was, I think, it was just under 10 litres per 100 k's anyway. So quite often the trip computer is very accurate, and sometimes it's a little bit better than what it says, and sometimes it's a little bit worse, but not very often. And if it's ever worse, it's not much at all. But anyway, let's wrap this one up. That's all the fuel economy videos for a while. We've got a whole fuel economy playlist there, so if you wanted to get in there and have a look at that playlist to learn about what you can really expect on fuel economy, a little bit of information on how to save fuel, what costs fuel. The biggest fuel cost in this is, I can't really tell you, to be honest. The all-terrain certainly chew a bit more fuel, so I would have expected more like about, on this one where it's 12.2 for the whole trip, 10.5, like what we get from Brisbane to Sydney. Why would it be any different for the whole trip going around Australia? Yeah, I can't really explain it. Fuel quality, conditions there. Well, like I said, there was some slight headwinds, but you know what? You'd think in a 15,000 k trip you'd get as much headwind as tailwind, wouldn't you? Well, maybe not if you go clockwise around Australia. Maybe I'll go anti-clockwise next time. Anyway, people, hopefully it's sharing some experiences with you. Going to have some more videos, including on 4B4 Ventures, about the trips, about the trip, and what broke, what let us down, what failed, what was reliable. Overall, fairly reliable. I'll just tell you now. We've got one little star chip in the windscreen, which will get repaired in a few days. The little antenna, even on the K-on mount, that's not getting vibrated around too much, the little antenna broke off. Antennas all fail in the end. I've gone through about, I don't know, 10 antennas in as many years. They all break if you get out there and use them, even if they're not shaking around on a bull bar. Eventually it'll happen, but the bull bar will generally speed things up if you're out there on the rough stuff. What else? Everything else was really reliable, and about to do another service on it. Bada bing, bada boom, 50,000 Ks, and we'll catch you on some more fuel economy videos and service videos. Maybe there'll be a service video on this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope it helped you understand. I look forward to reading the comments. Catch you then, guys. See ya.